I used to have a million ideas just floating around in my head with no way to capture them. Now I take those same random thoughts and turn them into actual business systems and ideas that make me money. Here's the exact process, and I'm even going to share with you an example from just last week of how this works. Hey there, if you've never been to my channel before, I'm Jared, chilling with the Business Technician. I've been in the world of small businesses for over a decade as an owner, operator, and currently as a consultant to small businesses. Prior to that, I spent 7 years in investment management right out of graduate school, learning all the ins and outs of how big corporations operate. Over the many years, I've tackled a multitude of business problems, everything from complex pricing strategy dislocations to difficult HR issues. And here's what I've learned. It's imperative that I get a lot of those thoughts and ideas going on in my mind down on paper. That way I'm using my thoughts rather than letting my thoughts use me on a daily basis. You know that feeling when you're driving or in the shower and you have this amazing business idea and all these connections and possibilities start forming, and then you get distracted and life happens, and by the time you sit down at the computer, poof, it's gone? Does that sound familiar? You're constantly thinking about the business and having all these great ideas and systems and things you want to do in the future, but they just kind of fade away because you don't have a system to organize and capture them. I used to lose dozens of ideas this way. I don't do it anymore. But here's what changed everything for me. I created a simple 3-step brain dump system that takes all those wild, crazy thoughts and ideas and organizes them into business systems and content. Step number 1 is to capture everything while moving. I personally use an app called Super Whisper while I'm walking outside or pacing around my house. No editing, no filtering, just a complete verbal brain dump. Why walking? Because movement unlocks creativity. Your brain works differently when your body is moving. Step number 2 is AI organization. I take that messy transcript, upload it to a Claude AI project, and ask it to sort everything into categories like YouTube video ideas, marketing materials, client solutions, business pitches, and process improvements. Step number 3, turn ideas into systems. I pick one category per week to develop into an actionable content or process. This video you're watching right now came from this exact process. Let me show you exactly how this works. I recently read an awesome book about problem solving. My mind was just racing about ideas to help clients, to think of YouTube content, marketing materials, and so I went for a walk. I fired up Super Whisper and just started talking out loud. I then emailed that voice transcription to myself and uploaded it to a Claude project. Now, let me show you how simple it is to set up your own Claude project for this. First, go to Claude AI and click Create Project. So here's the Claude AI screen. We're gonna go here, do New Project, so right here. Gonna name the project and we'll just call it Business Brain Dumps. You can put something here if you'd like to, but it's fine to leave. Okay, so here's our project. And then over here, we're gonna set some instructions, which I will show you here. Paste these into here. And so it says, I'm going to upload transcripts of my business brain dumps. Please organize my thoughts into these categories: YouTube video ideas, marketing content, client solutions, process improvements, and new service offerings. Make each category actionable and specific. So we'll save those instructions. And then I have a transcript that I'm going to paste in here. And because it's so many words, it puts it in its own file here. You can, of course, save your transcripts in Word files if you'd like to, but you can also just copy and paste it right from your email. And then we're just going to run this. And then you can see Claude here is using a artifact. And you can see Claude here is using an artifact to give me some different ideas. And as these models change, the output will look differently. So it's giving me lots of ideas. So let's show this artifact here. And so we've got YouTube video ideas. I'll just name a few here. The 7-step McKinsey problem-solving framework that actually works. And it gives you little bullet points about each. We've got why most people define problems wrong and how to fix it. Again, compare vague problem statements versus specific ones. Demonstrate the MECE principle, mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive. Show before and after examples of problem definition. The pyramid principle. Then we've got some marketing content ideas here. Blog series, strategic problem solving for business leaders, LinkedIn content strategy, lead magnets, We've got some client solutions here. So strategic problem solving, intensive workshop. That's actually a great idea. I never thought about that. Business problem diagnostic service. And then from there, you can build off of this and you can copy this. I usually take a lot of this stuff and I'll break it apart. So I'll take the YouTube video ideas, let's say, and put it into a Word document. And then I may use Claude even further to say, kind of like I mentioned here in the client solutions, I really like this one, strategic problem solving intensive workshop. Like that might be a fun Zoom workshop to put on. You could do it in person, of course, but like it'd be cool to do a online workshop. You could even make, and then break that down and use it as YouTube content if you wanted to. So what I would usually do is I'll take this and then I'll pop it back into Claude and say, hey, can you help me build this workshop, and then work with Claude to actually build the workshop out. So you can see we go from what was a pretty messy, we go from what was a very messy So you can see we go from what was a very messy transcript with all sorts of errors and stuff like that here to something fleshed out like this that gives us all these things organized. And that was just really from a 15-minute walk. Super easy to do. From one 15-minute walk, I got weeks of content and actual tools that I can use with clients now going forward. This system has completely transformed how my business runs. I rarely lose ideas anymore. I have consistent content to create. I'm constantly building better solutions for my clients. And most importantly, I'm building systems so that my business can run without me having to remember everything personally. And here's the time breakdown. 15 to 20 minutes for the walking brain dump, literally 2 minutes to upload it to Claude, maybe 30 minutes to develop one of the ideas into something actionable. That's less than an hour total, and it gives me weeks of content and systems. But here's the real magic. Your brain starts working differently when you know you don't have to remember everything. You get to be more creative, let the ideas flow, create more connections because you don't have to remember everything. It's been a blessing to me. Okay, so here's what I want you to do this week. First, download some sort of transcription app. I use the free version of Super Whisper. There's also Claude AI, and honestly, you could just use the voice memo app on your phone. That's totally fine. Then build the Claude project I showed you. Takes you about 5 minutes. You don't need to get complicated with it yet. Just use the basic model I showed you with the instructions. Then go for your 15-minute walk and just talk. Let your brain flow. Don't worry about the ums, the ahs, the pauses. None of that matters. Just speak. And then when you get home, upload the transcript to your Claude project and watch the magic happen. And trust me, your future self will thank you for building this habit. You have plenty of million-dollar ideas floating around in your head. You just need a system to capture them, organize them, and then systematize them. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I'm Jared Schilling with The Business Technician, signing off till next time.